Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a good day yesterday. Hope my recording was okay. Um, Hopefully it wasn't too weird, but today, same thing. I'm going to do a recording for you guys so that when I come back tomorrow, we'll be all caught up on everything. Sorry I'm not showing my webcam. It's just really bright in this room because it's super dark outside and then the lighting in here is terrible, so I'm super flushed out when I tried to do my webcam. So today you're going to need your cell phones away until we get to the independent work, your binder, you're going to need a highlighter. There are some up front if you need one. And then Miss Pat's going to give you two worksheets again. One of them is going to be Sonnet 130. The other one is going to be a practice sonnet for you. So make sure you put those in the notes section of your binder. And then we can get rolling with today's lesson. So if you weren't here yesterday, your homework is to go home and watch that video. Get the notes from Miss Pat and put them in your binder and just complete the activities that needed to be done. The poems are probably still up on the wall, but if they're not, then they are in Schoology. And again, when you watch the video, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. If you need additional help, you can ask tomorrow when I come back, or you can come in during lunch on Thursday. So you have this sonnet. It's called Sonnet 130. Everybody calls it My Mistress Eyes Are Nothing Like the Sun. This is one of Shakespeare's most popular sonnets. So what I want you to do is I just want you to follow along while I read this to you. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damask, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. So that sonnet may sound pretty confusing, but hopefully with the pictures on here, and kind of the small explanation above Shakespeare's head, basically Shakespeare is saying all these things about his mistress or his lady, who she's not perfect, and he does give these big like examples like wires growing on her head and her lips are super pale and not just all these unattractive things about her. But then in the last two lines, it talks about how he still loves her. Even though she's not perfect, she's still pretty awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to annotate the quatrains and the couplet. So the first thing you're going to do is I want you to draw lines between the fourth line and the fifth line, the eighth line and the ninth line, the 12th line and the 13th line, and then I want you to circle the last two lines. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to just draw little squares. It'll be easier for me because I don't have a mouse. So that's the line between the fourth and fifth line. There's the eighth and ninth, 12th and 13th. And then I will do a circle for the last two lines. So what I want you guys to do right now is do exactly what I did. Just draw lines. You don't need to draw boxes. If you want to draw boxes, that's fine with me. These are your notes, whatever works best for you. Um, so if you look in the box, it says this is the first quatrain, second quatrain, third quatrain in the couplet. This is how a Shakespearean sonnet is set up. This is how most sonnets are set up. You're going to have four lines that work together, a second set of four lines that work together, a third set of four lines that work together, and then you're going to have a couplet at the end, which is just two lines. So if you think of a quatrain, like the word quad, quad means four. So a quatrain is four lines. A couplet, think of a couple, and that's going to be the last two lines. So if you look in the first groups, you're going to even see the rhyme scheme in there: sun and dun, red, head. Second quatrain, white, delight, cheeks, reeks. Third quatrain has no, go, sound, and ground. And then the couplet is rare and compare. So that's how, and I'll talk a little bit more about the rhyme scheme as we move forward, but this is the setup. So when you guys go to write your own sonnets, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have three quatrains and you're going to have a couplet at the end. And the couplet is where everything kind of changes. All right, so we're going to move on to the next slide. And Miss Pat, you can pause it if anybody needs more time. All right, so let's talk about the rhyme scheme here. So if you look in the bottom right hand box, it'll say quatrain one goes A, B, A, B. Quatrain two is C, D, C, D. Quatrain three is E, F, E, F. And quatrain four, oh, that's a mistake. It's not a quatrain. This should say the couplet. So hopefully that fixes it. No, it does not. So that should say couplet. It shouldn't say quatrain. All right. Oops. I'm just messing up everywhere apparently. So again, let's talk about this rhyme scheme here. So we have A, or we don't. I'll use the drawing tool and see how this goes. So this is A, this is B, A, B. All right, so what I want you guys to do on your sonnet, I want you to do the exact same thing I'm doing. So put A, B, A, B. And what you can see here is the A's rhyme and then the B's rhyme. And again, that is your first quatrain. And this part is probably the most confusing part, is the rhyme scheme. But once you get it, you'll be fine. So that's the first quatrain. It has that A, B, A, B. And then we're going to move into C, D, C, D. And the reason we move to another letter is because white does not rhyme with sun, red, dun, or head. So you got to go C. Cheeks doesn't rhyme with white. So that's D. So I want you guys doing this on your paper as well. All right, and I'm going to draw another box around it. So it's like our previous paper. Okay. So again, C and C rhyme and D rhyme. Then you have your third quatrain, which we move to E. And the reason we move to E is because the word no does not rhyme with sun, red, dun, head, white, cheeks, delight, or reeks. We're going to do E and we're going to do F because sound does not rhyme with any of those words up there. And then we're going to do another E and we're going to do another F. So again, I want you guys writing this on your paper. Okay, and then we have the E's rhyme and the F's rhyme. And then finally we have our couplet, not a quatrain. Couplet is going to be G and G. And that's because rare does not rhyme with any of these words over here. And then compare rhymes with rare, which is why it's G and not H. Because compare and rare rhyme. So let's do a circle. I'll change the color. I'll make it pink. All right. So you should have this written down. You should have the quatrains, the lines between all the quatrains, the rhyme scheme written out, and then we are going to move on to a few other vocabulary words that are kind of important as well. So in a Shakespearean sonnet, or any sonnet for that fact, it always follows the four lines, three quatrains, a couplet, and this rhyme scheme. So it's almost like memorization. You need more time, Miss Pat, again, just pause this and you guys can get work, or you guys can take a few minutes to get this all written down. Once it's written down, Miss Pat, then start playing the video again. All right, so let's talk about some imagery. I want you guys to highlight three words or phrases that appeal to the senses, which would be sight, sound, touch, smell, or taste. And I want you guys to take maybe 30 seconds to do that. Imagery is old hat for you guys. You know how to do this. So again, I'm going to give you, actually, I'll give you 1 minute to do this. All right, it's been a minute. I went back in and I added the quatrains and the couplet for you. So hopefully you guys highlighted different words that appeal to different, sight, sound, touch, taste. So again, you could do lips red, you could do black wires grow on her head, mistress reeks, okay, that smell. Let's see, music would be sound. That music has a far more pleasing sound. You could use the word treads as imagery, the way she walks on the ground, like stomping her feet. Those are all different types of imagery here. And the reason why imagery is really important in a sonnet is for the fact that you need to get the point across here. If he had just said, my mistress eyes aren't pretty, that's not really a good way to have imagery. Okay, it should be, my mistress eyes are nothing like the sun. So you think of the sun. The sun is bright, it's beautiful, it shines light on people. That's way different than saying my mistress eyes aren't pretty. It's trying to give you that big, you know, impact of how his mistress looks, or again, how she smells. She reeks. She smells awful. Okay. Her voice, awful. Can't sing. The way she walks, she treads. She just doesn't walk heavily. She treads on the ground. So again, Miss Pat, if they need more time, pause it. If not, let's keep moving on. So what I want you guys to do now is you've annotated the sonnet 130, which is going to be our anchor sonnet for when you guys write your own sonnet. You have a second worksheet. It's called America, and it is a sonnet, and it is set up as a Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespeare didn't write it, obviously, but it's modeled after that. So what you're going to do is you are going to spend the rest of class, and you are going to annotate the sonnet worksheet that I gave you. There's 4 questions at the bottom. Okay, it's going to ask you about quatrains, couplets, rhyme scheme, and then I think it asks you to summarize. You're gonna have the rest of class to work on this. And yes, now you may have your cell phones, you can listen to music, do whatever you need to do. If you are absent yesterday, I would take this class time to hop on to Schoology and listen to yesterday's lesson, get yesterday's worksheets, and get yourselves caught up. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Okay, I will be checking my email tomorrow. If not, I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday, and I am going to see you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.